Hello, and welcome to Overthinking Eurovision. I'm Matt Rather. Last year, we spent way too long rendering this beautiful graphic to proclaim Loreen the winner of the first ever Glass Music Note Award, presented to the Eurovision act that enjoys the most success after Eurovision. We made it the Glass Music Note Award because Rosa went viral on TikTok. But TikTok is really hard to get good data for. So for the rest of this video, we're just going to be looking at Spotify data and chart performance as a metric of a song's popularity. Loreen finished only 20th in the 2022 grand final, but Snap is currently barreling towards 1 billion Spotify streams. To put that in perspective, Snap has significantly more streams than any Beatles song except for Here Comes the Sun. Sometimes we sit around late at night checking various classic rock songs to see if Snap has more streams than them. American Pie? Bye-bye. I Love Rock and Roll? People seem to love Snap way more. The Gambler? Should have known when to fold 'em, Kenny Rogers. And we believed this might be a sign of things to come. Maybe we thought TikTok is a fickle and capricious mistress, and you never know which Eurovision artist is going to be blessed by her kiss. So even though Loreen won Eurovision in 2023, we were totally prepared to see someone besides Loreen go viral by the end of the summer. But as the months went by, Tattoo's popularity only grew. The song hit #1 in Austria, Belgium,
Greece, Iceland, Israel, Latvia, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Switzerland,
and of course, Sweden. And comparing Spotify streams for the class of 2023, Tattoo absolutely dominated. If only there were a metaphor for something that can't be removed, something constant and unchanging. But this raises a question. If Tattoo was the most streamed Eurovision song of 2023, both before and after Eurovision, then why didn't it win the Televote? It came in a fairly distant second place in the grand final. In fact, it didn't get 12 points in the televoting from a single country. But if people love this song so much, why didn't more of them vote for it? Here's a theory. Loreen came into the contest as a heavy favorite. Her odds were more than double those of her closest competitor. Every single article about the contest and every commentator said that Loreen was a returning champion and basically Eurovision royalty with a song written by Sweden's top pop alchemists. And even if you like the song, a lot of people would rather support an underdog. It's like, even if you support Norway in cross-country skiing, it's a lot more fun to root for Nigeria.
Donc c'était très marrant parce que faire du ski sous 38 degrés, sans neige, du ski roux, c'était anodin pour le pays, quoi.
The guy skiing for Nigeria will probably not win. But what if he does?
He didn't.
And of course, there was a segment of the Eurovision fanbase that resented the fact that Loreen came back to the contest at all. These people thought there were so many unknown artists that really needed exposure, and Loreen was hogging a spotlight that she had already enjoyed. But maybe it isn't actually that weird to have the most popular song in terms of streams lose the popular vote at Eurovision. Just go back to the example we started the episode with. Snap is now the second most streamed Eurovision song of all time, but it barely got any points from the televoting at all. And here's an even better example. The most streamed Eurovision song of all time didn't win the televoting either. Arcade has over 1 billion streams. That's with a B. And in 2019, it lost the televoting to Spirit in the Sky. That song from Norway has 45 million streams, which is pretty good compared to other songs featuring the North Sami language, but not good compared to Arcade. So it seems that a song's raw popularity isn't enough to predict whether audiences will vote for it at Eurovision. And I think the easiest way to explain this is to remember an embarrassing lesson we learned in 2022 when we said this about Moldova's song.
Because I don't see this song ever making it out of the semifinals.
Moldova not only qualified, it received more televotes in the grand final than anybody besides Ukraine. It beat Slow-Mo, Hold Me Closer, and Spaceman. All of those songs outstreamed Trinoletsul by a massive margin before and after the show. But that didn't matter in Turin. Eurovision is a party, and party songs have a distinct advantage. Songs that get the crowd dancing. Songs that get the crowd singing. Songs that get the crowd chanting. And sometimes it's not about the song itself, it's about which performers really work to engage the crowd. Take a look at Loreen's performance. It was mesmerizing. It was impressive. But look at the way it was shot. The audience might as well not even be there until the end. Compare that to Keria, who was staring down the camera from the very beginning. Both performances were great, but Loreen was performing for us, and Keria was performing to us. Just because a song is popular in general doesn't mean it's the right song for a specific context. You wouldn't play Get Low at your wedding for your first dance with your dad. You wouldn't play All I Want for Christmas Is You at a bar mitzvah. Tattoo dominated 2023 in Spotify streams, but the thing about Spotify is that a lot of those streams are for solo listening. It's people enjoying a song on their AirPods or in their car. On the night of the show, no one is listening to these songs solo. People are watching at huge parties, packed bars, or surrounded by family and friends. Even if someone is watching Eurovision alone, they don't feel alone. And that feeling of communal listening changes the music people respond to. So maybe the day after the show, when all the songs are just tracks on Spotify, Tattoo wins the streaming race. But during the show, people want to vote for whatever makes them feel something together, united by music. So anyway, here is Loreen's needlessly fancy 3D render to celebrate her glass microphone and glass Spotify circle thing. But we still wonder if one song winning both might be the exception, not the rule moving forward. What do you all think? Is the song that wins Eurovision this year going to have the most streams come Christmas? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe to this channel for more song reviews, analysis, and needlessly fancy 3D renders. We'll see you next time. If the day ever comes when Snap gets more streams than Here Comes the Sun, we should probably throw Rosalind some kind of party. Maybe with an eclipse theme.